Hello, goddesses, sisters, amazing women entrepreneurs. I am Enchantress Shane, and this is Go Fuck Your Fears and Get Bold. So, I want to open up this space for you to take risks right here, right now. Why fuck around? You could listen and watch this talk and think I'm great, but here's the thing you could get inspired by so many things, and if you don't take action, it's a fucking waste. So, all 500,000 of you women who have joined this place are already courageous. Courage is one thing. Being bold means you don't just show up, that you take over the moment, that you go beyond what feels like intuition. You go over what feels like a limitation. And when you're bold and when you fuck a fear, it's going to feel wrong in your body. It's going to trigger all sorts of things in your body that are like, what are you, stupid? All the voices of your preschool teachers and your fourth grade teacher and your cousin Frank, who didn't know he made you feel bad, will come back in and flood your system with shame, guilt, embarrassment, worry, and fear. And I am here to say, stop that shit. So I didn't plan to use these things, but they're always just sitting on my table. I'm Enchantress Shane, and I run a course called Fuck Your Fears. Now, here's the thing. I have so many fears that if I didn't teach this course, I would be laying in my bed, probably with a blanket over my head. But because I've created my world, my practice about fucking my own fears, I've created worldwide accountability, basically. So if I just disappear, people are going to be like, where the fuck is Shane? So as a business owner, you get to create and help other people with exactly what you need the most help with. I'm sure you know that already. That's not like a big genius thing. But what is a big genius thing is when you take a risk, when you do something that feels counterintuitive, even if the outcome comes out bad or wrong, you start to build this muscle of self trust. Now, I've done a one woman show probably off Broadway. Was I ready to do it? No. Did I even do a lot of rehearsals? No. Did I rent the theater? Yes. Did I sell the fucking theater out? Yes. Did I remember all my lines that I wrote? No. Who cares? I did the thing. And now I have to do something else. And for me, my biggest fear now is doing stand up comedy. Not just hopping on an open mic, but writing it and performing it. What is your biggest fear right this second? And don't say things like fear of success, because that's like very grandiose. I want to know, like, I'm afraid to make a live video. And here's the thing, it's you're not just writing it for me, you are outing yourself so that the fear doesn't sit in your body and shrivel you up into an old hag. Ugh. So when you share, right, we have access to the stage all the time. If you're not making live videos, you're missing out. If you're constantly asking for help outside yourself, you're missing out. If you're not taking risks that might feel big to you and not to others, you're missing out. So when you go to the gym, you pump iron, right? You get muscles. It doesn't happen in one day. And actually, it will feel wrong in your body. So let's say a risk is raising your prices. Like, I would love to read some of your, oh my goodness, yes, you got to take over to be bold. I love it. I always do this kind of weird, but okay, now I get to your comments too. Yes, being successful with coaching clients. Okay, cool, Kendra. What does success look like to you? Because that's important. And I think a lot of times it gets lost in the translation of like, success might mean to some people money, or success might mean my clients give me good feedback, or success might mean I don't have to work at my corporate job anymore. So think about, and this is a great question for everybody. So I love that you responded, Kendra, and I see you here. And I often have this feeling too, like, do my people even like what I'm giving them? Now I ask better questions to get feedback from them so it doesn't have to be a mystery of like, did you even find this valuable? You just paid me 5 grand. Are you okay? You just paid me 25 grand. Do you like what we're doing? And it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of boldness to humble and get vulnerable and ask your biggest client, hey, can we do a check in? I want to make sure I'm giving you what you came to me for. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so glad you give details. Having clients who need my services and me being valuable so they return or continue to you. High five. That is so clear. I want to tell you a little story because you're here talking, so I'm going to talk to you. So I run a course called Fuck Your Fears. I've been running it for 7 or 8 years. And this round, I have a team. I did all this, blah, blah, blah. And I had 5 women return. All 5 are graduates. And at first I was like, "Oh man, these new women, they don't see my value. They think it's too expensive, blah blah blah." And then I flipped it. And I was like, "Wait a minute. This is fucking amazing. These women are returning to me. They love what they're getting." And I really think it's because I began to ask them, in the last couple. I mean, some of these women are like third return people to the course. I began to like really check in and be like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm giving you what you came for. Because a lot of times clients aren't even looking at us. They just think they're doing it wrong. They just think like, oh, my coach is amazing. I must be a fuck up because I'm not doing it right. So having a really good check-in, and what I used to do was I would give check-in calls as an extra, whatever, some insecurity stuff. And when I gave them an extra of it, just erring on the side of giving, they gave me better feedback. When I had more aligned clients, they gave me better feedback. So I know that feeling of sitting around and being like, am I doing the right thing? And it's a really good question to sit into, but especially if you're a coach, because that's what I am, you're not doing it alone. It's really a teamwork effort. You're not a teacher, which is like, are you going to pass the test? It's more like, hey, how are we doing? And I've worked with a lot of clients that weren't aligned, who wanted to leave my practice when I first started. And, just being that humble takes confidence. It takes a moment to be like, you know what? I'm not going to prove it. I just want to actually know, is this working? Thank you for sharing. And yes, I love that you wrote that, Connie. When you take over a moment to be bold, you are going to make people uncomfortable. And that is not a good feeling in the body. But I'll tell you what, it feels good when people see that you're doing it, even when you don't notice. Even when you're like, I, all your high school friends, right? So I have, everybody's on Facebook. So you have high school friends that are like, what are they doing? And everybody's throwing shade and throwing judge. Oh, good. I'm glad. Throwing judgment out. How do you get comfortable making other people comfortable? And this is a direct answer, Kendra, to trusting yourself is taking mini risks. Now, I've taken a lot of risks in life. For whatever I was born this way, I take risks. But I'm also super fucking shy. I'm also super introverted. I could be a superstar on a stage or here, but put me in a social event and I'm like, oh my God, it's so intense. So to make little risks while you're at home in your comfort zone, while you're twiddling your toes and second guessing yourself, it takes those moments in community. Kendra, are you teaching a class in here? This is the greatest place to play on a stage, is to do it in community so you feel supported. A risk might be in this group is a great place to take a risk versus like on your regular Facebook page where people are waiting to judge you. They're waiting to make fun. They're waiting to be like, what's Kendra doing? Yes. Are you teaching a class? Like doing this? Are you giving a talk? It's the most uncomfortable thing. And once you're finished talking to people that you don't know, something happens in the body that's like, what was that? And the quickest way, and this is going to sound so crazy, but here's a couple of tips to get yourself ready, even to hit go live, you know? And you can decide. You can go on Instagram and go live. I have ah, you can go live, but my onboarding is a little off. Great. I love that. So I help people create systems. I'm not a systems queen. I pay someone to do that. But the idea of, and I spoke about this last week, when you onboard someone, when I onboard someone, even on a sales call or, and actually, do you mean a sales call or after they said yes? It triggers everything in our inner children. The inner child that's like, do you like me? Are you into my birthday party? Are you coming? And it's normal. And it's one of those things, the boldness, you can sit with your knees really wide, relax your asshole, and just take a moment and let your belly be soft, roll your shoulders back. And it only happens after you practice it and practice it and practice it. And if you're bold in life, and this is something my acting teacher told me years ago, if you're full of shit in life, you'll be full of shit in conversations. You'll be full of shit in on the stage. So reminding yourself that I'm a caring person. I do good things in the world. It's okay for me to be bold, and boldness comes with being messy. And there's no place in the world where women have been told, like, yeah, it's okay, show up like a mess. It's okay. Don't dye your hair. Don't put on makeup. Yeah, bring your big belly out. It's amazing. We've been trained to be prim and proper and be a perfect hostess, say all the right things all the time. But being bold means you're going to be different than everybody else, and people are going to look at you. And if they look at you, it alerts the nervous system to like freak out. So if you're having like onboarding is a little off, like that one-on-one stuff might be off. First of all, it's totally okay to have bullet points. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that point. I want to pin that. Um, Bold is different. And I remember when I first really started working with my sales process, onboarding, I would say, listen, I'm really excited. I really like you. I'm a little bit attached to working with you. I just want to say that so that it doesn't come out in other ways. Because there's so much riding on getting a new client, and being able to celebrate it and being like, I'm really in business. And so to just speak that truth takes so much bold confidence because no one talks like that. No one says like, "Hey, I feel really nervous right now. I really like you and I want you to, pay me in full." So it's finding ways to regulate your nervous system so that when you're relaxed, like you're physically relaxed, your asshole's relaxed, your shoulders are back, that you can find the truth and be like, wow, I really am excited about this woman. It's okay to be excited about new clients. And it's been somewhere indoctrinated that we have to be cool. Like, hey, I sign clients all the time, so my system should be perfect. Fuck that. Let it be messy. Then you're human and you're real, and the person will connect with you more deep. More deep or deeper? Oh, yes. Oh, we're from the same planet here, Kendra. I love it. That critter brain. So here's something that I do in my Fuck Your Fears course. We make puppets, right? I don't have my puppets near me. But let's say this is my critical critter brain. And it's like, you're such a bullshit artist. How dare you charge 5 figures for your year-long program? You are taking advantage. And I look at this motherfucker and I say, fuck off. And maybe I throw the stick. So, as an actor, as an improv actor, I really believe these voices, at some point, the critical voices have saved us from something. But we don't need them right now. We can send them on their way. And so you can pretend to be that critical voice, or you can even out that critical voice. And this is what I would do. I would say, I have a critical voice that thinks that you're going to run away. I am so excited to work with you that it's triggered every insecurity that I have. I mean, that would be fucking really bold. Because once you speak it, it no longer has a hold on you. And so I have my clients in wigs, I have them in fucking weird hats because that inner voice, for you, it might look like one type of person. I have a woman, oh my God, she's so funny. Her inner critic is an old man with a cane. And, we do these embodiment practices of like him walking, and he doesn't even say anything. He's just like, you're an asshole. And when she embodies him, it sounds fun and it is fun, but then he has something to say. And usually it's a really big piece of advice. And specifically, that woman, she listened to that old Haggerty man, and he said, you should work out your numbers better. Like, he was really stuck on pricing. And she was like, okay, great. That's great. So she hired an accountant to do whatever, or a business manager, somebody, because her client was asking a lot of questions about money and different amounts that she could pay every month for the year. And it got her triggered into thinking this person really didn't want to work with her. And so, with this old bitty man with the cane, got her to hire a business manager, not an accountant, to write out a graph about different options, the way this person can pay. And all of a sudden, the woman was like, oh, great, I just needed that so I could give it to my husband. We as entrepreneurs have so many freaking hats. Marketing hat, hey, be on TV, here I am, hey, business manager, automation queen, systems queen, accountant, bookkeeper, so many. And so when you figure out the loudest voice that is your critter and give that person a title, give that person an outfit, give that person a personality, and then you can ask them, what the fuck do you want from me? Yes, amazing. They can tell you what they want. Another example, and this is really bold work, right? To just be able to embody that loudest and most annoying work and words. I mean, mostly everybody wants to push that away and do affirmations. But if that loud critter voice is like, you're such a loser, affirmations are not going to work for you, then you're wasting your time because there's more contrast than there is belief systems, right? When there's a loud, rickety voice that's shitty, you got to overwhelm that with something even bigger. And so even practicing, flipping your hair, walking in your house, strutting in your house, getting that in your body, physically in your body before you get on an onboarding call or a sales call or a live video, it makes a fucking difference. If you sit behind your video and you have no panties on, or you take your pants off, it's bold and nobody has to even know. But in your mind and body, there's like, oh, something new is going on. That's weird. If you use your magic wand in your videos, there's something that's recalibrating in your brain. I'm a special educator, okay? I used to do big talks for schools and conferences, and then I was like, that doesn't feel who I am anymore. I used to be a stripper, I'm an actor, I do all these things of self-expression, I'm beautiful. And yet when I was doing special education stuff, I would have no makeup on, I'd pull my hair back because I wasn't integrated, I wasn't whole. And so when you bring all your parts to the table, the needy, the insecure, the loud, the rowdy, the play big, also the shrink ones that want to hide, all those parts of you are ultra important. And it is so fucking bold to be all of them. And it's going to turn a lot of people to discomfort. They're going to be like, catty, just like in high school. So our inner children, our inner teenager especially, can be super nasty and tell you every reason why you should just give up, throw in the towel, go fuck yourself. And your integrated self is like, no, you, teenager self, I'll use this. It's really a beautiful goddess though. You, teenager self, are not allowed to run the show. Go fucking to the mall. I am here. So your teenager self is invited, right? Great question. Your little girl self is invited. The shadow, the dark parts of those that are insecure and mean are invited, but they don't get to run the show individually. Your most integrated self, I wouldn't say is your mean girl, but it's your firm girl, like the part of you that knows what is going to happen next. And when you bring that firmness, I like to say firm and friendly, to the table, then you feel no matter what happens that you've brought your full self to the table. And I think it's good practice to be the mean girl, not with the person that you're onboarding, but just like practice giving dirty looks. This fucking person is taking so long to send me their deposit. Like allow that anger and weird rage to come out from the mean girl, because if it doesn't, if you she doesn't get some stage time in your world, behind the scenes, she'll sneak out sideways. And all of a sudden, you'll be on the phone onboarding, and all of a sudden, it feels like a fight with someone. I remember the first time I had a sales call where she was like, can you stay on the phone with me while I figure out my money, and I'll just like give you credit cards as we go along and we'll split it into three? And I remember being like, oh shit, you're including me on this? I thought I had to come to the sales call like gangbuster, like, all right, she's going to pay me. No, these people that want to work with us, they might actually do whatever it takes. That's what I've done when I paid coaches. So, yes, we do have so many parts. And our most neediest of parts, come from when we were little kids. And we don't need to figure out when those moments were and solve them. We just need to know, oh shit, I have a really insecure teenager part of me, and she thinks everyone is going to run away. So the really bold, fuck your fears, is actually all the parts together that's like, I'm not afraid. Whether you sign up with me or not, there's people clamoring to work with me. We're in this entrepreneurial world where everyone knows this and that and this and that, but there's so many people who are not in the self-development world that need us. So we have a need to step out of our own heads, and we're multifaceted beings. We have many parts. And so if we're in this one place, yes. Wait, what do you mean, Peridot? I'm an August baby. That is my, what is it? Birthstone. Ooh, that makes me want to buy a Peridot big ring. All I need. I love shopping, by the way. So I think it's really important to get to know the voices and the parts that are loud. So let's say after you do a live video, there's these voices that are like, oh my God, you look stupid. You should delete that. You're like, why? I just did it. Oh, fuck. I guess I should delete it. If you let that part win, you lose. If you stop yourself from making the live video, if you joined a group and oh, period, it's slang. I got it. But also Peridot is my birthstone, so I kind of like that. So if you have this intention, let's say you join this group, right? There's 500,000 women in it. What are you doing here? Are you using it? You joined other groups. Are you using it? So remembering your intention. Yes, that happened to me. I deleted the video. Here's the coolest thing. When you make a shitty video that's stupid, you can always use it as a before video, as a way to be like, look what my first video looked like. I almost deleted it. That's a way to find and to bring the transparency forward and to start practicing being transparent so that when you get on an onboarding call, your bold self, your multifaceted bold self can come through. Here's the other thing about being bold. It's not important. It's not as important to be bold in the most important place, because that's like a place to really fuck with yourself. but start small. Like maybe wear a witch's hat out on the street. Maybe wear a hat if you never wear a hat before. So start taking risks in ways that don't really mean anything. Give a compliment to a grumpy woman at the supermarket. It's things like that that start to rev up confidence. This morning, I went to breakfast and we sat inside, and it was so hot. I live in New York, in Rockaway Beach, and I felt really brave. And I went up to the maitre d'. Okay, good. I'm so glad. And I asked him to put the air conditioner on. And my heart was racing because I was like, fuck, if he says no, then I have to leave. My friend's not going to want to leave. Like all this stuff started coming up. And I remembered that my dad, when I was growing up, never wanted to put the air conditioner on. He always wanted us to, like, I don't know, have a drink of water, take a layer off, whatever. He was not an air conditioner person. And so I realized that that fear of being yelled at, of being told, like, who are you? We don't put the air conditioner on. We have to pay that bill. Da 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 da. And I felt like, uh-oh, am I going to be a Karen? You know, all this stuff. And he gladly put the air conditioner on. But it felt really bold in my body to go ask in a diner that's already crowded where no one else is asking to put the air conditioner on. And that gave me so much energy afterwards because I thought to myself, shit, if he says yes, what else can I ask for? So I have a book launch coming up, and it's a book, a compilation of advice columns I've been writing in my local paper. I was feeling bold in 2017 in the summer. I was judging a photography show, and I went up to him and I said, can I write an advice column in your paper? It's pretty fucking bold. He's like, whatever. He kind of blew me off, and I'm like, I'm really serious. He's like, great. Bring it in Monday morning, 10 a.m. I've been writing it ever since. Now it's compiled in a book. It's my second book, and I have a book launch for it and a book signing coming up. So it's like you just have to take a moment. And here's the thing. A, it will feel counterintuitive. It'll feel like, no, this is the wrong thing to do. You might not get the outcome answer that you want. And the third thing is you're going to feel really alone and stupid. So tell people you're doing it. You know, if the kind of person who feels stupid, come in this group and be like, hey, I'm asking for something really big today. Can I get a big shout out? And I'll come back and let you know what happened. And it's these things. I dare you all to write an ebook this weekend. An ebook can be 30 pages. Go write an ebook, self-publish it, I'll tell you right now, and put it on Amazon this weekend. I did it, and if I did it, I can ask you to do it. Make an ebook, because then you can go give talks and give out the ebook. So how does that start? Go to your local paper and just freaking ask. That's what I did. So my local paper is called Rockaway Times. Wherever you live, where do you live? Just look up local paper. There's always a local paper, and you can say, hey, I'm a professional. I help women, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to write, oh my God, just do it. I'd like to write a column in your paper, and that's free marketing, and people read it, and now you're a famous celebrity. Ta-da! So this ebook, I went to a talk. Bob Proctor was talking, and one of my coaches, Abiola Abrams, was there. You're in South Carolina. Oh my God, it's probably like South Carolina Times. And she dared us. She's like, go home and write an ebook. Now, I'm a procrastinator as fuck, but I went home. Not only did I write an ebook, I wrote an awesome ebook. It's for sale on Amazon, and it's called From Anxiety to Ease, the Feminine Way. And I had an article in the Huffington Post about it. It's just like all over. Oh, you're an exceptional writer. Well bragged, sister. Hi, you're from Nova Scotia, Canada. Oh my goodness, Jennifer. So we're talking about starting a local, you can start a local advice column in your paper. Just ask. And who cares? I'll tell you what, even if you don't get it, just ask. Icy Rolling from Boston, Massachusetts. What's up? East Coast. I'm in New York. I'm a born and raised New Yorker. No, I'm not in Arizona. I'm in, it's a place called Rockaway Beach. If you know this song, I'm not a great singer, by the Ramones. It's Rock, 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 Rockaway Beach. Yeah. So I did the idea in 2017 and I've been writing ever since. And now I've compiled all of them and they're in a book and I'm doing a book launch. So being bold means who fucking knew? I'm a great writer and here I'm doing an ebook. Here I'm doing an advice column. Um, it's a great marketing tool. And the reason to write a book is not so people can read it. The reason to write a book is so you can write the book and you can explain it to people. They're not going to read it, you know? I mean, it's nice to think that they might. That's a little obnoxious for me, but I don't think anyone's read my book, although I've asked for testimonials about it, so I'm sure they've read a couple pages. But my people mostly love video. They don't read. I like reading. I'm a book hoarder, but I don't read all my books. I just love having them like art. Yeah, so a big way to fuck your fears to me has a lot to do with visibility. Now, I also love hiding, and I work with sensitive women who are hiders, often who get really busy and really just like know how to be smart about hiding and not telling anybody that they're going into isolation. And my job is like, hey, where the fuck are you? So I do that in a group, a women's group called the Awkward Enchanted Coven. I love it. I feel really like excited about everyone who's showing up. So my group is the Awkward Enchanted Coven, and then I have twice a year I have a 30-day challenge called Video Vixen. And it's two challenges. One has prompts to go live with, and the other one is all about gratitude. Yes, go on Canva. It's such a joke. If you go on any tips on starting the ebook, go on Canva. It'll give you a whole friggin' outline on how to write an ebook. Or just even if you don't have Canva, just Google outline for an ebook. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to tell it to you quickly, but if we were on a coaching call, I would ask you a question and you'd come up with 10 different answers about whatever you coach. And then one of those chapters is your ebook. Make it really simple, and then you can have 10 little ebooks. Like I have a coloring book coming out in December, and it's the 10 commandments of fucking your fears. And there's 10 commandments that I love and believe in and live by. And each one has a separate coloring page and a workbook. A little dog that's doing funny things. Anyway. All right, everyone. So I want to invite everyone into the Awkward Enchanted Coven. It's my free group. I don't know what's happening with my dog, but something. And then oh, I see what's happening. He's having some shit going on. Okay, from anxiety. Poor little man. I love him. And then here's the ebook, and it's different activities to put yourself in ease in under 10 minutes. Thanks for your patience there. Yeah, so come play in my group. The women in there are so engaged and so happy, and everyone has entrepreneurial spirit or creative spirit. So I help artists and entrepreneurs get their shit into the world in a very authentic way, so it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like a certain way, and everybody's bold in their own way. So yeah, this has been so fun today. I'm so glad everybody participated. And I'm here every Friday at 5 p.m. And if you want to be in touch with me, just friend me. I cleared up my friend list a little bit. And thank you all for showing up. Have a great rest of your night. And ciao for now. And a great weekend. Okay, bye.